This video is for all of you internal processors out there. People like me who, when we're hurt or when we're struggling, we do all of that experience inside without sharing it until we move on or solve it, and it never touches the world outside of us. And in the process of doing that, even though we might be telling ourselves a story that we're not burdening other people, we're actually losing an opportunity for intimacy. I'm Stacy Rocklein. I'm a relationship coach, and I help you heal what's broken, communicate what hurts, and close the distance in your relationships. So intimacy, and all kinds of intimacy, but let's talk just specifically about emotional intimacy. And why emotional intimacy is important is because emotional intimacy has to be present in order to have other kinds of intimacy. Intimacy requires safety. We have to feel safe. And we feel safe when we trust that other person. If we trust them and feel safe, then we're willing to be vulnerable, and that gets people closer together. But trust just doesn't appear. It has to be built. It has to be built over time and built with experiences. And one of the ways we can do that is by sharing where we're struggling. I have always kept things to myself. I like to say I'm a private person. I don't need anyone's help. I can figure it out. I can solve it myself. I don't need other people to get involved. I don't want people to know that I'm struggling. And so I keep that in, and to the world, it looks like I'm bulletproof, but I'm not. And there's all this stuff happening inside that the people closest to me for a long time didn't know. And I was losing opportunities by not sharing that. So I'm going to suggest that when you've struggled, you share that. And I want to talk about some of the ways to do it. You've got a couple options. You can share it after it happened. And if that feels like the safest first step, go ahead and do that. You can still do everything that you do inside your head, but then come back later to people that you care about and tell them how you struggled, what happened, how you got through it. Let them know. That sends the message that you trust them with that. Now, the next level is to actually share it when it's happening. Share it when you're struggling. Now, you're not looking for the other person to solve it. By sharing this, you're not dumping it on them and saying, hey, fix this for me, right? You're just letting them in on the process. You're showing something. You're also not just reporting like you're a journalist. You need to include how you're feeling. You need to talk about the emotions that go with it. That's the vulnerable part. Figure out what is a vulnerable step. What makes you feel a little bit scared, but not so scared you won't do it? What feels like something you can share? Because if you just give someone a report, that's transparent. It's not vulnerable though. And it's that vulnerability that sends the message that you trust the person, that starts to build this sense of safety and creates more intimacy. So what are the kinds of things to share? Not only your struggles, here's some other things to share. Share your dreams. Now, I literally have to tell myself, Stacy, share that, because I have habituated for so long keeping all of that stuff inside. So share your dreams, share the things that you want to do, share your desires. Right now, if you have a secret wish that you've never told anybody, share that with somebody. That's how you can build that trust, safety, intimacy in that relationship. Share your fears. What are you worried about? What are the things that keep you up at night? Those are things that you can share with people too. Always include your feelings. That is what feels intimate in our relationships, is when the other person is sharing with us how they feel. Then we feel like we really know them. And that is a wonderful feeling of connection in our relationships. So if this is you, it's okay. It's me too. What can you share in the relationship in your life that you want to feel closer, that you want to have more intimacy? What can you share that lets them know, I trust you? How can you be a little bit vulnerable so that the other person feels that trust between you, and so that you can build that safety and have that intimacy that you're seeking? Now, one thing I said that you have to include here are your emotions. You have to include that as part of this share. So if you haven't done a lot of emotional work, that's okay. I keep this right here on my desk. Like, I am still doing my emotional work and expect to do it for a long time. This is a feel wheel, and you can try to identify what you're feeling by looking at this wheel. And you can grab this by going to the link I'm gonna leave. And this will help you if you're thinking about sharing, okay? But make sure that you do, because life is richer when we're closer to the people that we care about. Okay, I'll see you next time.